So, in the previous sessions, we have seen that JavaScript basics. How do we declare variables? How do we play with different types of variables? How do we loop on the list, etc., etc. From today onwards, we are starting on the LWC points. So in LWC, like similarly, if you look at the Aura framework, right, we have a component bundle in which we got several files in Aura framework, Aura bundles, Aura component bundles. So here in LWC, we got these type of files in the Lightning Web Components, like HTML, .html, .js, .xml, .css, and .svg. So this HTML file will hold your component markup, right, within these template tags. And the .js file will hold your client-side logic. Like in the Aura framework, we have .cmp file which will be holding the markup file, right? Markup components. And we got JS files as well there, controller.js, helper.js. So here also we have .js file which will be holding your client-side logic. And also we have here .xml file which will be holding some meta properties of your LWC component. And also in this file, we can define that where our LWC component can be used or can be embedded. .css file, which we will be using to apply CSS styling to the different tags, different components in LWC. SVG file to define custom icons or to display icons in your LWC components. So this is how Lightning Web Component Bundle, which includes these many files, .html, .js, .xml, .css, and .svg. So let me go here. First of all, I would like to show you how do we create projects and in the local, and how do we access and authorize that project, connect that project to your actual Salesforce org. So what I'll do is, first of all, I will close this folder and I'll create new one. So to create new project, right, in your local folder, you can use the Control-Shift-P. One second. You can use the Control-Shift-P keys to, this is nothing but the shortcut of this command to create this project, right? You will see different options here. So as I want to create new project, right, I'll select this SFDX create project with manifest. Once you click it, it will ask you which type of project you want to create, which type of project template. I'll select standard one, and it will ask you the project name, right? Which I'm giving as a LWC training batch 3, and I'll hit enter, and it will ask me in which local folder you want to create this project, right? So what I'll do is I'll go here to Techila training program, and LWC, and I'll simply remove this and select this button, and it will automatically create one project in your local folder. If you go to the local folder, you will see this folder got created for me here, and then you will see this file structure here, different folders here, and into that you have different again subfolders like a force app main default, which is the path of this. You guys, if you go over your cursor here, right, you will see where your project is located, so you can simply figure it out. And then we got manifest file here in which we have package.xml. So this package.xml, if you want to retrieve your code or lightning components apex classes, so what you guys can do is you can use this package.xml where you can mention your class names. Like this is the syntax that you guys can use to fetch your apex classes. The star is indicating all the classes. If you want to fetch particular class, you can just mention this class name, for example, opportunity trigger handler. Suppose you want to fetch only this class, you don't want to fetch all the classes in your system, right? So you can just put this class name and you can simply right click here. But as we haven't connected this project to the Salesforce org, right? So before we move ahead with this, what we need to do is, again, you guys can use the Control Shift P, and you can see these many options here. So now we want to authorize this project to your Salesforce org. So I'll just click on these options, and it will ask me different types of environments, right? Which kind of environments you want to connect with it. So I'll be selecting production as developer edition is our production org, right? So I'm just giving this name, and hopefully it will take you to this. So it will take you to this screen, right? This web browser tab, and you can simply choose your credentials, and it will get authorized automatically. You guys can see authorize an org successfully run. So now my org is successfully authorized and connected with this project. For now, you can see my classes are empty, Aura is also empty, LWC components are empty, objects, nothing is there. But what I will do is, for now, if you want to retrieve all these things, right, whatever things are we want to be here in your project. So if you right click here, you will see these options. So deploy source in manifest to your org, retrieve source in manifest from org. So I will be using this command to fetch all these things from our Salesforce org into this folder, into this local folder, right, which we have created as a project, right? So LWC training batch 3. And these many things, there are lots of things that we can import or retrieve from org and store in your local folder. So for now I'm just doing, if you want to fetch specific Apex class, as I mentioned, you can just give that class name. And again, if you want to fetch multiple classes, right? So what you guys can do is you can simply copy these things like this and mention your class names here, whatever classes you want to fetch. Similarly for Apex components, Apex pages, and Apex triggers, and whatever things you want to fetch from your org, you can do it. But for now I'm just doing for all, and I'm clicking right click here and retrieve. I'm just running this command. You can see previously those classes were not here, but now it's appear as we run this command and fetch it. On the left side bar, you guys can see different options, right? So before we go ahead with LWC, right, we have to install some extensions. You guys may be aware about it, and you'll maybe find it out in Google as well. So we need this setup, VS Code setup, in order to proceed with the LWC. Okay. So to create LWC component, let's go ahead and how do we create LWC? So whatever LWC we have already exist, you guys can see here in the list and along with their files, HTML, JS, and XML. But if you want to create LWC, right, either you can click Ctrl+Shift+P. You can also see command here as well, smdx. Oh, sorry, smdx. 1 second. Ctrl+Shift+P. You guys can see these are the commands, but I'm just using the shortcuts. We have commands as well where we can run it somewhere here in the terminal, and you can open all these things, access these things by running those specific commands. But I'm just using this. Either you can go from here, or also you can right click on this LWC folder, okay, and you will see options here, create LWC component. Or if you go to any folder like classes, if you want to create Apex class, you can simply right click on the class. You will see that option here, like a create Apex class. So similarly, for all the things, this option will be available. So for now, I'm just creating LWC component. Okay. So I'm just clicking on this button, clicking on this option and giving the name. Hello world bash 3 and hitting enter, choosing the default, right, which is a local folder. And you guys can see, if you guys can see, it will automatically create these files, these 3 files which are there in the component bundle, right, like HTML, JS, and XML file. So for this file, I'll let you know how do we create these files, which does not appear here. So these 3 files basically automatically get created here. Now HTML file, it will automatically add this template tags for you. JS file, this will be holding your client side logic. This is how you can see this. And the next thing, meta file, okay, XML file, which will be holding where you want to, if you want to, where you want to embed it, this LWC component, that you will define here those properties. Okay, so now what I will do is basically in HTML. Okay, let me do one thing. Stop to my sharing, sorry. I will take this out, and if you guys can see Lightning Web Component Developer Guide. So basically, if you guys want to explore yourself as well, right, you can just type Lightning Web Component library, and this is the standard documentation provided by Salesforce. You guys can get started with this documentation, in which you will find everything with example. Those things you guys can try it out yourself. Okay, so like in Aura component, right, we have different tags like a lightning input, lightning button, etc, right, lightning card. So similarly, we follow same thing here, but here in Aura framework and LWC, in LWC it's just the syntactical changes are there. Like if I want to use this lightning card, okay, so while typing it will automatically give this, references here. So I want to use this lightning card, and automatically it will automatically enter this tag for you here. So I'm just using this lightning card here, and we got title tag as well here, title attribute. So in which we can give simply title to this lightning card, hello world, hello crash 3. I'm just giving this name, and how do we deploy this code in your Salesforce org, right? First of all, whenever you are making any changes, right, you want to save those changes in local folder. So you can use Control S to save it in local folder. And if you click right click of your mouse, you'll see these options like deploy the source to work, retrieve the source to work. So I will choose this, deploy the source to work. So this component, whatever changes you made, those will get deployed to your Salesforce org, and I'll show you how do we see those changes in your Salesforce org. So let me see. I'm just copying these things for time being, so it will save our time, right? So hello world. And for now, I'm not writing anything here, but okay, let me deploy a whole component. If you want to push whole LWC component, right, what you can do is you can just go to the name of this component, LWC component, and right click here, and again you can select this deploy source to work. So I want to embed this LWC component in my org. How do we do that? So let's say I want to embed this component here in the home page, right? On the home page. So from here, from this setup icon, okay, if you click here, you'll see this edit page option here. You can just click it. Similarly, like we embed Aura component, right? You can just do the same thing here. On the left side panel, you guys can see all the standard components provided by Salesforce will automatically appear here. And also you'll see one custom section in which your all the custom thing will appear here. So what I'll do is I'll just search for the name. See, what was the name of the component? Hello world bash 3. So just ignore this mistake, spelling mistake. But I don't see that component here. Why? Because as we have seen, right? We have seen here that XML file which will be holding this meta properties also define where this component can be used. So in this file, right, in this meta.xml file, we have this property is expose. Until you make it true, it won't be available to you to embed it anywhere. So make sure that before you, if you are not seeing this component here, right, to embed it in any page, first thing you have to look at here, I will deploy this because it was false previously. I make it true. And if you go back and refresh it, now if you search for it, I'll go back. So along with this is exposed true. Okay, we haven't defined where we want to put it, right? So what I'll do is, if you guys can see these targets, currently what we have done is expose this property, we make it true. And if you want to have this component available to record page, app page, or a home page, any of this page, we need to set these properties in your file. So I'm just copying those things here. So make sure that you are doing this thing, you are mentioning this thing in your XML file, and you can just deploy this. Okay. Now if you refresh it, see, this component is available now. Previously it was not available because we added these properties here, right? We set this like lightning record page, lightning app page, lightning home page. Currently we are on the home page. If you take out this, save it and deploy it, again it will get disappear from here. See, we cannot see that right now. So I'll just put it back and deploy it. Okay, so it will be available now. I'll just drag it and you can just drop it here and you can save it. Once you save your changes, you'll see it's saved and you can just go back to your page and you will see this hello world, right? This is the lightning card title and this is the text that we have printed here by using this div tag. Okay, now so this is your sample LWC program. So you can just create, like, you can just follow the steps whatever we follow here. Like you can go to the LWC folder, you can right click, you can create, you can choose this right option to create LWC component. Then first thing, make sure that this component exports is true and you have set up this three or whatever you, wherever you want to put it, right? So you can just mention that one and whatever content you want to have in your HTML. Those content will need to display, you can put it here by using LWC tags, right? Lightning Web Component tags in this templates, and you can simply embed that LWC component from this option, right? Edit page, and you can search for that component. Okay, next. So this I already shown you, right? So yes, so one more thing I wanted to show you that so between LWC and Aura, right? How do we decide that we should go ahead with the Aura components or we should go ahead with the LWC component? Definitely LWC is lighter weight and if you compare performance, LWC's performance is better than Aura framework, right? So definitely you can go ahead with the LWC component, but before going ahead with LWC, right, or Aura, any of this, you have to check what are the things are supported with LWC and non-supported things. So if you guys can see, these are the features which are not supported with LWC. Apart from this, everything is supported. This is the standard documentation that I'm following. So you guys can see. So these many things are supported, right? You can deal with LWC component with these features, custom types, flows, utility bars. So it's available there, but these are the things where you cannot communicate or you cannot deal with the LWC components. So you can just take this for reference and you can choose if you want to go ahead with LWC or Aura. So I'm just putting, sorry. Okay, you can just find it out here in the introduction to Lightning Web Components. Okay, now next thing, how do we bind data in LWC? Like you can fetch value from LWC JavaScript and show it in the HTML file. So first of all, you guys know about this file and this file, right? We haven't talked about this JS file. So JS file, these three files are getting created for us automatically when you create this LWC component. So this is the syntax of a JS file. This is nothing but your JS class, JavaScript class for this LWC component, in which you will be putting all the client-side logic. Okay. So this import statement, okay, import lightning elements from LWC. This will fetch all the features or elements from your LWC model, and it will be available for you to develop your LWC component. So make sure that you have this statement here in order to proceed further and implement your LWC component. So what I'll do is, first of all, I will take one variable, okay, greetings, and I'll simply assign one value, good morning all. I will save this, and what we'll do is I'll simply go back to your HTML file. I will just refresh this. I will also take this out because I have already mentioned that in JS file, right? So what I did is I just take this variable, I just declare this variable and just mention this access here in the HTML file like this. You just need to follow this syntax. You need to use these brackets, and into that you just need to mention the variable name, and you can simply deploy it. Okay, and if you just refresh your home page, why it's not showing? Something went wrong. 1 second, guys. I'm using different variable, right? That's why it's not showing. I will again deploy it. The name of the variable was wrong because I copied from that file. That's why. Okay, if I refresh it now, see, good morning all. So basically what you guys can do it, whatever basic, right, default values you want to take it, or whatever value you want to print, you can just declare those many variables here on the top of this class into this class, and you can simply access those variable by following this syntax, and you can show it in the HTML file like this. So this is how you can just bind your variable. Okay, now what I will do is I will just take one lightning input. Similarly, we have lightning inputs in Aura frameworks. You will see just syntactical changes. Both the things are same, but here we are using dash, right? And in Aura we are using colon. Okay, so this is the change only. This is the syntactical change only. And what I'll do is I'm just, for time being, I'm just copying these things. Okay, I will keep that. And this is Nilesh from PGS. So what I'll do is, what I did is here. See, I have declared another variable and assign some value to it. Okay, and this is the method, right? Function, the JavaScript function. We can just give the name and event as a parameter if we are firing these functions, yeah, on change or on click or whatever action, whatever event. And what I'm doing here is this dot dynamic greeting. Dynamic greeting is my variable, and this keyword, this dot, which is referencing to this JavaScript class. Okay, so it will target the class level variable, and equal to event dot target dot value, right? Event dot target dot value, which will bring the value, from this lightning input. Okay, whatever value you will be putting here in this lightning input, those value automatically you can access. You can access by this event dot target dot value. This command you can use to access it. What I'll do is I'll simply deploy it, and let's see how it's behaving. I'll just refresh this page. You guys can see greeting, and greeting is the label of this, right? Greeting is label of this, and on change of it, right? On change of it, we are calling this method greeting change handler, which is there in this class. So make sure that your method is there in this class within this brackets, meaning your method is there in this class, and whatever value we will be typing, it will be assigned to this variable. Okay, so what I will do is, oh, sorry. I'll go back, and below this input, okay, I will just print that variable dynamic greeting. Okay, so you will see the changes. I'll simply deploy it to make sure that everything is in place. I will just deploy whole component. You guys are getting right whatever things I'm doing here. So I have just taken one variable, string variable. I have written one definition method definition here. Into this, I'm just assigning value to this variable. Okay, whatever value I'll be typing from UI side, right? This will automatically get assigned to this variable on change of that input. Okay, let's see. Let me refresh it and let's see the result. So, see, by default, value from that particular variable is getting displayed over here, right? So by default, we have assigned this string to this variable, right? Dynamic greetings, and we are on the HTML side, we are printing this value here, right? So that's why by default it's displaying this value here. But if you change it, right, see, if we change it, on change of this, our JS method is getting called, and whatever value you're typing here in the lightning input, dynamically getting it assigned to this particular variable. This particular variable. So on change handler, right? So greeting change handler method is getting called whenever you type in anything, and it's taking whatever value you are typing there and it's assigning to this variable. You guys are getting? We are just using this variable to display it. So whatever things we have seen, right? If you comment it out, you guys can use this comment on the UI side to comment your HTML part. Okay, HTML piece of code. And if you refresh it, I just want to tell you whatever things we have done. So the previous one, right? We are only setting up value from this variable and we are just showing that value on the UI. So this is your one-way binding. One-way binding meaning the value is set and you are setting up value from either UI side or from JavaScript side. So we are setting up this value from the JavaScript side, right? So the value is coming from only this variable, right? We are not changing from anywhere. This is just a default value. So this is our one-way binding. And if you uncomment this, right, and deploy this will become your two-way binding, this variable, because we are also assigning value from JavaScript and we are also taking value from HTML file and assigning back to this variable. So it's a two-way binding, setting up value from the JavaScript and getting value from the HTML file and assign it back to the variable in the JavaScript. So this will be your one-way binding. Greetings and just simply display here, and the value, right? Assign value by default value from here and set back value on change of this lightning input to this particular variable. This will be your two-way binding. So any doubts, guys, till now? So this is all about your data binding, one-way data binding and two-way data binding. This is all that we have seen yet, right? If you type anything here, it will automatically get changed. And initially, right? Initially, it will display that default value here, whatever value was there, right? Now, next thing, in LWC, how do we apply CSS, right? How do we apply CSS? So basically, as we have seen in the component bundle, right? We have .css file as well, but by default, we don't see this file here, right? On creation of LWC component. But how do we do that? How do we do that? All right. So to create this file, right, a .css file, you can simply right click here. You will see this new file option here. You can click it and it will ask you the name of, you have to give the same name. You have to give the same name, whatever your component name. And at the last, you have to append .css and hit enter. It will automatically create that CSS file for you under this LWC component. Right click it. I'm again repeating it. Right click on your component name select a new file, give the file name as similar to the component name .css. Make sure that your component name is starting with the small cases, and the word which is coming next in your name, you can just give it as a capital letter like this. Now, okay, I'm just referring these things so we can move ahead quickly. Okay, I'm just copying this thing. I'll explain you. I'm just taking out this and just replacing it. Okay, dynamic greeting is there. So most of the people, I know that you guys already know about it. Okay, so I'll just copy it and I'll just paste it here in this JavaScript, sorry, in the CSS file. I'm just commenting it for now. Okay, and greeting class. Okay, I'll just deploy this. So what I did is in the CSS file, I have just taken this class, greeting class. This is the syntax that you need to follow. Dot class name. Okay, and into this bracket, whatever properties, whatever style you want to apply, right? So you can just mention this property. I'm just taking this color green, and I will be applying this. I will be applying this class here to this div. Okay, so you can just use this class keyword equals to, you can just give this class name in the double quotes, and that CSS will automatically get applied over here to this particular div tag as you are applying this class, right, from the CSS file here. And you can simply refresh your page and you'll see the changes here on the UI, right? You can see this in the green, like hello, this is Nilesh from TGS. Okay, now this is your, you can dynamically, you can, if you want to apply this class for anywhere, right, in another tags, you can just use this and you can just put it there. Okay, now what I want to do is I will just put it back. So this is your dynamic binding. Okay, so whatever things you have applied here, right, this is dynamic, we can say. But on the markup level also you can apply styling. So you can use the style attribute and define whatever CSS you want to apply. You can similarly do this thing to the particular tag. This is nothing but your inline CSS style. This will become your dynamic. So you have put it whatever things you want to do it in the CSS file, and you can access those classes here. And from the tag level also you can do it. So this is your inline CSS. So we have different types like a CSS class, inline CSS. We can also apply styling to all the tags directly. Okay, also I have one more thing that I want to show you. I will come to that. Okay, if I refresh this now, right, if I refresh it, you will see that inline CSS, right, inline CSS is applied for this, right, like a background black and color is white. See, background black and font color is white. So this is nothing but your inline CSS. And one more thing, let's say you want to apply the properties or apply CSS for all the div tags. all the div tags in your HTML file or in your LWC component. How do we do that? We have that feature, or we have that style. You can just mention like this. You just go here and just taking out to here. Just create task div. Just give the name as a tag name, and whatever property you want to apply, just apply here, and I'll just deploy it. So similarly, you can apply CSS properties to h1 tag, p tag, or whatever tags you want to apply. Just give this tag name and just apply whatever CSS. Just mention the CSS here like this, and just refresh it. Once you deploy it, you'll see those changes here. See, blue line, right? So what we mentioned here, border for div tag. So that's why it's showing all border for this all these three, right? Next thing, if you want to apply property, right, applying styling to the template directly, whole template, you can use this host : host, which will be applicable, which will apply properties to your whole template. So what I will do is I'll just deploy it and I'll come back here. So we have chosen red. Okay, red, you don't see red here, but now if we refresh it, okay, you will see red border to whole your component, LWC component. See this red out of this component, right? So these are the ways to applying CSS. Like you can use CSS class, which we will be defining here in the .css file, right? Like this. Second thing, inline CSS, that you can give it to the tag level, like by using this style tag. Next, you can apply directly proper CSS property to the tags, like we did it in the CSS file, right? Like this. And next, if you want to apply properties to the whole template, you can just use this : host and mention the properties. Whatever properties you want to apply, you can just apply like this. Okay, guys, before we move ahead, right? Any doubts? Because we are almost losing to the time. So because this topic can take some time, so maybe this will cover in the next session. How do we render, right? Template render conditionally. We will see that in the next session. Any doubts so far, guys? If we don't have any doubts, we are good to close the session. We will be having session on Monday, and day after Monday, we will be having a doubt clearing session. You can join same the bridge if you have any doubts. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I hope you are enjoying these sessions and you're learning something new. And also I'll be giving assignment, sharing assignment. You can just utilize those assignment to, explore these things hands-on. You'll get some hands-on by those assignments. Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir. Bye.